Hey, are we live? I think so. How's our audio? Are we live? Okay, yeah, our audio's good. Hey there. Today I'm gonna play Duel Masters until I lose. I wish I had good news, but unfortunately with the most recent update to Duel Masters Play, the client can no longer be played in English for the foreseeable future using the previous mod, because the previous mod interacted with Unity 5 and the game has been updated to Unity 6. But that's just part of life. I've spent the last year of my life really enjoying Duel Masters and being able to play Duel Masters in the comfort of my own home with my friends and with the few people who have gotten into it because I've talked about it. And I wouldn't trade that for the world. I've loved that. This game has been awesome. And the things we love and the things we wouldn't change do change regardless of whether or not we want them to. And there's plenty of games out there that are only in English and plenty of people out there who don't speak English. So it's just reality that sometimes a game I love won't be in English. And I think it's beautiful that we can still boot up the stream and have some fun in a game that's in a complete different language. I've taken some time out of my day to set aside and learn beyond what I already knew, just some key cards that are viable in the meta, commonly played in the meta, and what they do, so that hopefully I can still play this game. And yeah, I'll continue streaming Duel Masters even though the client doesn't have working English anymore. I found something called Gaminic, which can overlay some English over kanji, and it sort of works with this game. If I shift click on something and it's on the screen for a while, I can translate it. So if there's a card I really need to know the translation for, I can get a pretty imperfect translation, but it's far from perfect, and I may still lose games from not knowing the language. But I mean, in some ways it's kind of beautiful because it's like I'm playing Duel Masters back when I couldn't read English words and they were just pictures on cards. I mean, that's what it was like when it came out when I was 7. I just had to learn what things did by tinkering and being told what they did by people who read the language. So we're still out here enjoying the game, and that's what it's all about, right? So we're still gonna try and outramp our opponent. They're in blue-black, so we have to be really careful about what we keep in our hand because they're good at discarding. So I really should have charged that Emrakul sooner, but it's good that I charged this Maui, because if we get Maui out on the board, we can win the game, and by putting it in our mana zone, we're actually protecting it, because we have a lot of cards that can put things from the mana zone into our hand, which we can then immediately cast. That's kind of the objective of the deck. So it's a hidden way to protect our game-winning cards. Anyhow, thanks for bearing with my sad opening. I just wanted to make a point, because there are, I've got several Discords full of people that I'm a part of that are sad that they can't play the game in English anymore. And plenty of them have also just kept playing. Let's see if I can read what this does using the translation overlay. So it's taking this long to load. At the end of your turn, put 2 cards of your deck into the graveyard. Yeah. See, it's not very realistic to do that while the game is going on and while there's a timer, but it's not nothing. Okay, so here's where I have to make a decision that will impact the outcome of the game. So I think the right move, either way, what I play here, this is going to be 8 mana. So it's better to charge more and potentially put things into my hand. Yes, that's better. See, this basically has affinity for anything with 12,000 power, so this deck is full of creatures that have 12,000 power but can't attack for certain reasons at lower CMC, so I can play this and then cast an Emrakul from it, or something else. I've charged most of those, and I haven't drawn the card that lets me get cards from my mana zone yet, which might be a problem. Especially since they're about to combo out of their graveyard, most likely. They don't have all of the pieces, but they can make... Oh, they can make me discard. Yeah, see, there's the problem. I wanted to keep that in my hand. Okay. We haven't lost this yet. We have to put this in the mana zone for now to protect it. But we can grow the mana zone. Next turn for sure we'll be able to play from the mana zone if we make it that far. And from there we could still Emrakul and win. Especially if we put this into the mana zone using that creature. So what we want to do now is just slow them down. They have to spend more resources to cast that creature. It's better than nothing. But we might still lose just based on the number of creatures on board. Like all of these creatures, I think, other than this, they could break all of our shields. Yeah, they could still win. So if we don't hit a shield trigger, we could still lose. But it just really depends on how it all shakes out. But that's kind of the fun of the game. You never know. The comeback mechanic is very swingy, which a lot of people don't like, but I think it's fun. And I like it. Let's see. Okay, we did hit Tamatango, which lets us block any of their creatures. Does this have Slayer? I don't think it does. Yeah, this doesn't have Slayer, so we can let it hit, right? It still does a thing when it dies, yeah, but... Oh, they can transform into something a lot larger. So we may still lose. But we can still try to not lose. We can still slow them down. This stops them from winning next turn, and that's really what matters. This turn, I think. Yeah, because they can only break our last shield. So we might still be able to win this. Now it's more so up to chance. So we send Sieg back to our hand. We play this. And we just pray that we can combo it out. We need to build more mana, so we will put this into our hand, which is why it's the picture of the deck. Because this grows us 4 mana. Hopefully this does it. Because the problem with this deck is we need to really not deck ourselves. So what we do is this, and we may still lose. Yeah, we were too slow. Or I may have sequenced that wrong. We can still try with this, though. I think we just deck out here. No, we don't. Okay. Oh, but that blocks the trigger! That blocks! Maui blocks the Sieg trigger, so we can still do this. I didn't realize that, but that makes sense. So right now we can destroy all of its mana. Now it just really depends on the shield triggers. We could still win this. But the shield triggers, Maui prevents any spells from happening. I'm still clicking it as if my viewers could read that. Though for the few Japanese viewers, I guess you can. Oh, wow. I didn't know Maui turned off Sieg. I didn't know that, and I won. Hey! I just put Maui in there randomly because it can shut down some matchups, but I didn't realize it had that interaction with the deck, even though I'm playing in a language that isn't my native language. That's wild. Oh, hey, Emrakul is the most meta. Yeah, Emrakul is the most meta MTG character Duel Masters right now. Yeah, I would really like to play One Piece. If it had a digital client, I'd certainly stream it. I don't really know where I can play it. I think this is the first time we've had a live viewer, so shout out to Strident. I think I can guess who this is. I think they're, the people who work on sound and videos and movies are Foley artists, and I think we might have a Foley artist out there if you catch my drift. But hey, we won one on stream even though we're playing in all Japanese because the translation mod is broken. Let's see if we can do it again. Anyways, it's been a wild life. I've been dealing with COVID, so that just like, wow, we really act like that doesn't exist. So right now we can try to push for an early Grand Sect. We don't know what we're up against, so we're gonna want to tuck the Emrakul depending on our matchup. Right now we're okay. We can tuck Sieg since Sieg can go back to our hand. Just get more mana. Just try to get to casting this so we can cast this and win. It's the entire deck. The entire deck is building up wild scenarios where we can cast that. And the thing we tucked last turn lets us get creatures out of the mana zone in a repeatable way that builds the mana zone. So right now, if we get to 8 mana, we can get pretty close. I don't know what this does. I have a limited translation method, so let's see. Give it a little bit of time. No one can place a card from the deck into any zone other than their hand. Okay, so we can't ramp off the top of the deck. That's good to know. That completely shuts off Sieg. We could still win with what we have, but that will slow us down. And this doesn't let us cast creatures that cost more than our total mana zone, which does prevent us from cheating this out earlier. Let's see if this even works against that. Yeah, I don't think it does. Better to do that because we actually have a creature that can ramp from the graveyard into the mana zone later, if that other creature is no longer there. But right now, this is a wild matchup. I haven't faced these cards before, so we just have to kind of Hope they'll start breaking some of our shields so that we can get card mechanics, do some things. I don't know what this does. Looks like it draws a card. This is the move because this way, if we draw another one of the ones that has sympathy, which is affinity functionally, we can play it. Let's see what this Denjara does. It'll take forever to translate this. Your opponent's creature attacks you if you have a spell equal or lower to something in your hand that didn't translate. You may turn it upside down once during game. If you do so, remove one spell from your hand that is less than equal to and probably cast it. Okay. Alright. We're still just playing off the deck. We're doing the best we can in reference to what we're up against. Now I've got 3 of them, so we're really not going to be able to combo the way we want to. Yeah, that won't even work. We've learned that. But now we're at 10 mana, so we can actually start. I mean, if we got to 11 mana, we could cast a Quattro Breaker. But this card goes crazy. It's a blocker, and every time it dies, or anytime a knight on your side of the field dies, you get crazy cards. So I don't know how long we'll last against that. The good news is next turn we can cast Siege, which is really our only chance of winning against this lockdown. Oh, and they've got 2 of them. I don't... We'll play it out, is what I'm going to say. I mean, they're at 15 cards in their deck. They could deck themselves out now. But we'll see. But the point is... Now we at least have a good creature that can return to our hand this creature, which actually does kind of floodgate our opponent. Stops them from casting spells, which they kind of need to do. So we'll see if we even last with them attacking. But we could hit Tamatango shield trigger. That's what we need. Tamatango. I love the music. These summon animations are so cool. Yeah. Ooh, we got 2 shield triggers. Okay. I think they're both duds, actually. If we get a creature on the board. If this one is your last shield, it tucks 3 of your opponent's creatures. But whatever. Hey, that's something. Yeah, this is something. It just depends on what my last shield trigger is. Okay. Second time Tamatango has saved us. Tamatango has a super block where basically every creature has to hit into it. That effect actually bit us in the rear. But now they can cast all their spells from things dying. So we'll see. Okay, so I can't... I can't get this and Maui out, so it's better to get Maui out so that they can't do certain things. If I time this out, if I time out the trigger, will it force me to return something to my hand? That's something I actually need to know for this situation. So I'm gonna do it. Sorry if it's not entertaining. But yeah, Master Duels has really good, commonly confused with Duel Masters. Master Duels has really cool animations. Okay, it just auto picks. So because of Maui, they can't use creature effects, and they can't cast spells, which helps us. And they can't hit through Maui unless they draw. I'm banking on them not drawing an ability to kill a creature. So if they can't, like, they can't cast spells and they can't use most creature effects. So I think we might be in the clear like this. They can't do most things against me. Yes! Tamatango! Tamatango is... It keeps this deck alive. Dang, that's 2 win streaks. Yeah, Master Duel is hard. I think it's a good answer to the fact that Paper Yu-Gi-Oh! Involves so much combo loops, and so much just issues in general with playing it in paper. Like, so much deck searching. Like, I remember fetch lands and can slow down a game of Magic. Like, the way in Yu-Gi-Oh! That you can just tutor your deck in Paper Yu-Gi-Oh! Just takes so long. Especially now that they have a rule where if you go to time, both players lose. That's just... The game that's the easiest to play the slowest punishes you for taking too much time. That's... But hey, Ancient Gear is still playable on Master Duel. So Master Duel does a good job of automating that. Let's see if we can get 3 wins. We can't even read the cards. We're just playing off of memory. Okay, they've got some hyperspatial cards, which actually doesn't tell us much about their deck. Because plenty of players will just bait that. We're going to try and hide Maui just in case they have discard effects. Maui can win so many games. Yeah, it's such a dumb rule. Alright. I'm surprised. We played against a deck that specifically floodgated what our deck does well and still brought out a W. I'm genuinely surprised that happened. Alright, looks like we're up against Metallica. That's literally what the deck... The phonetics of... It uses the kind of kanji that is directly phonetics, to my understanding. Like, directly translates to English pronunciation, and it's literally Metallica. So that card is gonna let them, yeah. Okay. The card they just drew lets them cheat out colorless creatures, so I think I know what I'm up against. The best thing we can do in response to that is this creature, which lets us get 3 cards from the top of the deck to put in the mana zone, but also we can put any of them in our hands we want, and Tamatango is really, really good against Metallica. So the fact that we got Tamatango off that is crazy. Yeah, so they're going to bring out a big colorless one. Duel Masters Metallica would be great. Universes Beyond. So yeah, they get to break one of their shields. No, this is the other one. There's one where they get to break their shield and then break our shield. This one's completely different. So they're going to tuck our creature. Yeah, their deck can just remove creatures by tucking them onto the shield, which is a funny... It's an interesting different... There's been some crossovers with Magic, but not a lot. Mostly just a playtest card. Okay, so since they're looping the ability to remove creatures on the board, what's smarter? No, I think this is still the move. I think we gotta trust Tamatango. Forcing them to deal with Tamatango is still just such a good move. Yeah, there's only been a playtest card, Lich's Duel Mastery, which changes, like, basically makes it so that your life total is just the shields. And then there's the Bullshack Dragon, which is really... That could have been a black border card. Like, it's annoying that there aren't black border Duel Master cards, but they've done so many other crossovers. Okay, so that lets them cast that spell for free from their hands, which So they get a free tuck. That's a bit too good against us. I didn't realize that when I misplayed last turn. So here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna keep trusting in stacking the mana zone so we can get cards out of the mana zone. So they haven't done much. They could be attacking me with this. Maybe that ability is if they don't attack. Let me see if I can use my super slow translator. And top 3 cards. Okay. Yeah, you can cast one. Oh. Yeah, they can. So they've got these 4 cards stacked on a shield. So those will go to my hand when the shield is broken, which is actually kind of wild of them to do because one of them is a shield trigger, and I think that still activates the shield trigger. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's not the end of the world is what I'm saying. But here with this, we can try to combo. Alright. So we need this card. When you normally lose cards in Duel Masters, they go to the graveyard. Let's see. Okay, we need to eke out a little bit more mana. So we're going to use this to do that. Alright. Now we'll give Maui. Now I can summon Maui. And even though we're really low on cards in our deck, I think playing Maui can win us the game. No Emrakul, surprisingly. So we'll just get this, which kills a creature. Oh, that still triggers it. I didn't know that. Okay, we can still win like this, though. Because now we have an Emrakul. An Emrakul and Maui we can still win with. Because Emrakul gets us an extra turn. This one just fights a creature, but I don't think that will count. It just takes off. Yeah, it just does that. That's so annoying. No. We have 1 card in hand, so in Duel Masters you deck out if there are 0 cards in your deck at any point. So we just have to try to win here. But with Maui, they can't really activate anything in response to what we're doing, so we might win. Especially since we can destroy... This has Annihilator 6, so they have to sacrifice 6 permanents, which doesn't count shields, so either creatures or mana. So that really... Oh, they can sacrifice... Oh, I see what they're doing. Okay. And with Maui, I don't think they're going to be able to get a shield trigger. Because they can't cast spells, I think. And that's probably why they're taking so long. Every time I break shields with Maui and they're like, wait, I can't do things, they take forever to run through the shield trigger. So the only thing they could do in response to this is a Revolution 0 trigger, which happens when you hit someone who has 0 shields. But Metallica very rarely runs that, and very rarely, if so, would run ones. Hey, we won! Maui and Grand Sect is great, because it stops you from decking yourself out. And that's the biggest weakness of Grand Sect when you do the combo, is if you do it too late, you can just... deck yourself. Hey, so that's 3 wins on stream. That's pretty cool. Who knew? I just needed to not read the language. I wonder why you're my number 2. Oh, Synthetic Thief is here too. What up, Synthetic Thief? Wow. Yeah, we don't usually get views on this stream, so I'm glad it popped up. I already feel like I could get some clips from this stream, which is also fun. For the content, I've been in May I had the fortune of interviewing the final American champion of Duel Masters, and I've been working on that interview for a while. And after this stream, I'm gonna keep editing it. I really wish I knew someone who does Japanese subtitles who would also be down to do Japanese subtitles for that, but I want to pay people what they're worth, and for like a 40-minute interview, that's like pushing $1,000 if you want to pay a translator what they're worth. So I'm not going to be able to have translated subtitles, but I will add the English transcript to the upload so that it can do auto dub, auto translate for people, which is better than nothing. So why do we play this? What it says is that it can't attack or block unless you have 6 or more creatures, but so it seems useless, but one of the combo enablers on our deck, it has affinity for creatures that have 12,000 or more attack, so that's how it fits in. And that looks like shit, but it's dirt, because it's a radish. But yeah, this is basically a hexproof creature. And I think this deck is our hardest matchup. Is it aggro deck? Okay, we needed that card. That's good for us. So we're basically just waiting to see if they get the cards they need to put out a creature we can't beat. So we're just trying to out-time them. So out of all the matchups we've had on stream, this is the one we can lose the easiest. Tamatango isn't good against this because their ace creature has to die to continue to grow. And the first form of this, it becomes this and just keeps growing infinitely. Maui, curiously, could actually wreck that creature. So if we could get Maui out, that'd be cool. Deck kind of reminds me of Buggy in One Piece. Plays a lot of big guys that can't attack block. Yeah, to cheat and bug. Yeah, people aren't joking. One Piece really does borrow a lot from Duel Masters. Yeah, see, they've already broken my shields. And now I have Maui in hand at least, but they just played another creature that... Oh, they were able to... They were not able to. They were close to being able to play a creature that would have done that, but... Man, if you've noticed I've started to get quiet, it's because I don't think I can beat this. Yeah, we're like... Oh, I should have played that other creature there. We still would have lost. Yeah. They just win. Which, you know, going 3-1 isn't bad, but this is a stream that ends when I lose, so I'm sorry, but we're going to end here. Thank you so much for tuning in. We had some cool comeback games, and yeah, we will stream more, even though the translation is broken. And if you know anyone that can code in Unity 6, there's a mod that a lot of people use to translate games. So if you can help with that, let me know. I'm off to the dump for Canlander. Nice work. Go get those W's, man.